Hey guys, Chase with Inline Warehouse, hanging out with Joe Cook from Alkali Hockey. Joe, thanks for coming out. We've got your new exciting Revel AXI line in front of us. Before we start talking, really getting into tech and spec, it looks like the fit has changed this year. So what can you tell me about the new construction you're using?
Well, we did a little bit of a change, and it's more of a mid-volume fit as opposed to a high volume, a low volume. We've completely revamped the entire construction of the skate. It is an injection molded one piece throughout, with the exception of the tendon guard, that's a separated piece. And we've really gone back to our roots with our original toe cap from 2012, 2013, revamped the chassis to our new Ryze chassis, which is an 80-80, 76-76 setup. And really, with the most important thing is we've kind of gone back to our roots when it comes to the form of the skate. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, the skate, the rake is much more forward than it has been on our last couple of models of skates, mm-hmm. Specifically made for roller, so that you're actually forward in your setup inside your skate. We also have a bit of a toe spring on here, so differently than a lot of ice hockey models that are out on the marketplace with your rocker. So we have the forward rake and the toe spring, so at the end of your stride, you've got a little bit more pressure to be able to put on the end of your stride, knowing that the only thing that's going to be in contact is the front wheel. So from the top to the bottom, we've really revamped. We're back to our old last, our original last, mm-hmm. our original toe box, and our original fit with a little bit less volume than back to the Max and RPD days.
Yeah, you could definitely notice the fit right out of the box. Those ankle pads just really hugging the ankle, or the heel, I should say. And it's really cool to see you guys getting back to the roots of building roller hockey skates by roller hockey players.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of the competitors on the marketplace all make great skates. There's, but ours are specific with the forward rake and the toe spring, specifically made for roller players.
And something really cool that we're seeing differently that you lightly touched on is the new chassis. So what was your idea with the new Ryze chassis?
Well, we've had 80s all the way through since 2011. We believe this setup is the best one in the marketplace. So it became available again with the 80-80, 76-76. So we decided to utilize that to give the cornering and the maneuverability and stopping grace so that you can utilize the new Ryze chassis.
And that's cool because that's coming from the construction, the new toe cap, or the old toe cap, and the chassis. We're finding that on all 6 price points. But we're seeing some really exclusive technologies on this top of the line Revel 1. So this is your flagship skate. It looks awesome. What are a couple key techs that we're going to find from top to bottom?
Yeah, so the most part, a couple of the major changes underneath the boot from a technical perspective. We've gone with the Connex PureX wheel. Mm-hmm. We have the Hilo cork bearing in here, which is also made by Connex. So we've really deepened our partnership with Connex on both the wheel and the bearing. We've gone to a magnesium Ryze chassis, which again is the 80-80, 76-76 setup. Mm-hmm. From there, you go to the composite outsole. Again, a one-piece lower quarter, injection molded one-piece formable. The form is much different than it has been on the last line with the Visium 2 and the Quantum and the Recon. We've really gone to a more form-fitted, closer to the foot fit. Mm-hmm. We've increased the padding on the interiors. We've got our Comfort Edge, our two-piece 9mm felt tongue with the injection molded lace bite protector, Japanese Clarino liner and anti-wick liner with graphics throughout the entire package. Microfiber eyelet facing. Mm-hmm. So it's really, our last line was at $299 as our highest end. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a significant amount of high-end boot technology in that. It was a really good skate for $299, magnesium chassis and carbon outsole. Mm-hmm. But this thing has all the bells and whistles of every high-end skate on the market at a $599 price point. So it's not super high-end priced, mm-hmm. but the spec and the boot and the stiffness, and this one has our Pro Plus stiffness, so it's super stiff for the high-end player. And overall, again, a mid-volume fit. Forward rake, toe spring, and then all the bells and whistles of the high-end bearing, the high-end wheel, the magnesium chassis.
So Alkali is back in that elite level skate.
Yeah, we're super excited about it.
And so we see a lot of cool technologies now trickling down outside of the Ryze, outside of that new construction, also into the Revel 2. What are a couple highlighting technologies and features we'll see here?
Yeah, well, once again, we go with Connex with their new 2-port tachyon wheel. We also have utilized the Hilo Swiss bearing. We go to a CNC extruded aluminum chassis, again with the Ryze setup. We go with a thin PVC carbon fiber outsole. We've got the Pro stiffness on this one, not the Pro Plus, but so the stiffness drops down down just a bit. The embellishments, the graphics on it are all embossed and de-embossed. We go with the PVC eyelet facing, a Nylex liner, which is a little bit softer liner, not as much anti-wick as the high end. This one's at $399 with a 9mm felt tongue with the lace bite insertion as well, insert protector.
So really still elite level performance, but for that player that's looking for a little more cost effectiveness, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and you know, dropping from $599 to $399, you know, I mean, roller hockey as a category from a sales perspective is pretty small. And I mean, we've expanded our line from 3 or 4 models last year to 9 in this year, as you'll see as we go throughout the day. But you know, getting back to the kind of price point by price point and spec differences, you know, you drop a little bit on the chassis not being magnesium, you know, you don't have the PureX wheel, but still a great skate at $399. High-end stiffness, high-end spec, still has the forward rake. All of our models have it. And then obviously back to the old toe box and the comfort edge and everything else that's on that boot, as well as the Revel 2.
So let's talk about for that competitive player that's maybe been playing for a couple of years, now looking to really get into their first real roller hockey skate with some high-end performance. You're probably looking at these 2 models here because it's still easier on the wallet, but you still don't want to feel like you're in that entry-level skate. So tons of performance. Yeah. What can you tell me about the 3 and the 4?
So the Revel 3 goes with the Connex Pulsar wheel. It also has a Hilo Swiss bearing, same CNC extruded aluminum chassis, thin PVC with carbon fiber outside. This one has a team stiffness, so it's obviously as you go down in price points, the stiffness of the boot overall changes. Not dramatically in our boots, but there is a bit of difference. And the biggest price point differences are the outer material and the outside of the one-piece injection. It's no longer a carbon fiber outlay. It's just it's a nylon outlay. But everything that we're doing here, all of the graphics and the materials are injected with our quarter material. So it all comes out in one piece with the graphics and the materials on it. It's got a Nylex liner with graphics internally, a PVC eyelet facing, 9mm felt tongue with insert. And you know, I mean, the wheel is the new Pulsar wheel from Connex, which I believe if they haven't launched it, they're getting ready to launch. So all of this is kind of coming out as, you know, with Connex and the Hilo and Alkali kind of coming out together as they're launching theirs, we're launching ours kind of at the same time.
That's awesome. And
this one is $299.
That one's $299. And then what can you tell me lastly about the Revel 4? Because we're still seeing some great features at this price point.
Yes, we start again with the wheel, which is the Rebel wheel from Connex with an ABEC 9 bearing. It's got a CNC extruded and stamped chassis with a thin PVC outsole. We also go with the Ryze chassis on this. This is a team stiffness, so the Revel 3 was a Team Plus, the Revel 4 is a team stiffness, so you lose a little bit of stiffness in it, but overall the boot is still incredibly stiff at $209.99. Right. 9mm felt tongue, so really the major differences are stiffness, wheel spec, bearing spec, chassis spec, and outsole spec. The boots throughout the entire line are just varying in stiffness slightly, so from the Revel 1 all the way down to the Revel 4, you're going to get an incredibly stiff boot that isn't normal, I think, in the marketplace today.
And incredibly comfortable too. We were trying them on today for the first time, and I love just naturally how it wrapped around the foot. Great plushness, especially with that tight heel lock, and it's great to see Alkali with the Revel line that I know you've been working on for a while.
Like it's been 18 months in the making. You know, we spent a lot of time going back and forth to the factories and a lot of design iterations. You know, in the color format, you can obviously tell where I grew up and what my favorite football team is. I mean, I love the blue and silver. The Honolulu Blue. So yeah, I mean, we're really excited about it. We feel like, you know, for the first time in probably 3 or 4 years, we're back. We've got a really solid line. We've got it from high-end performance to lower-end price points and specs and stiffnesses in the package, and I'm incredibly excited about it.
Awesome, Joe. Well, thanks for coming out here and filling us in. And then for you guys at home that want to check out the new Alkali Revel line, make sure you go to inlinewarehouse.com.